We then ran the phase which we call the strategy and roadmap phase, and that is to work with the client to really understand what it is they're going to need and how HubSpot can help them transform their business. And the outputs from that phase are really the scope and the definition of the project, the definition of the solution, what's it going to look like for them, and the high-level plan. What are the phases that we're going to go through in order to implement it? And we share that with everyone, so everyone gets the big picture as to what's happening and why and how.
I like the idea of this utopian system that does everything. It's a line of business software. It does our accounting, it does our reporting, it does our customer service, it does our whole journey. That was the concept. And it is a little bit utopian, but I think we've got quite close with HubSpot. Already we've got quite close, and I think there's still a lot to come. I wanted to take all the systems we have and wrap them into one that talk to each other and works very well together. There are elements that we can't do that with, just simply the nature of the business, but there are a lot of things that we wrap together. So that was the idea. There was also an idea I wanted to take the sort of implicit knowledge that the staff had and make that explicit, so we could bring in new members of staff and we could train them simpler. They could jump on a system and be trained with the system and then follow that through with guides and whatever. So that meant onboarding staff was a lot quicker and a lot more efficient. I also wanted to be able to report on data because that was a huge gap in our sort of strategy at the moment. We couldn't report on the data we had very easily. It was literally counting columns, which is never a good way of doing things. So the idea of having live reports and automated reports and different versions of the dashboards was really something I was very keen on. Well, the benefit of having a utopian product, I suppose, is tenfold. The cost alone is one thing. Because even though we pay for HubSpot, we pay for the development, we pay for the support and what have you, if I take that cost and I sort of remove the cost that we've no longer need for other bits and bobs, then there's a cost saving, in all honesty. The efficiencies we create is a cost saving. The fact that staff training was better is another benefit for us. There's loads of benefits to rolling that in one, but ultimately it's about the customer journey. I mean, when you come to an organisation like ours, we're all teachers, we've all stood in front of classrooms, we've all done this for years and years and years and taught tricky people and challenging people and easy people and what have you. So whenever somebody comes to train us, we're very judgmental. We're critiquing it as we go, and I was really impressed. It was fascinating. It was interesting to see all their processes drawn bare and stuck on the wall on big poster boards, and I think everybody benefited from that. I don't think anybody anticipated it was going to be quite as exploratory as it was.
The scope of the project was quite significant. There was a lot that we could do. So we had a discovery workshop with various members of the team, and we essentially mapped out the entire customer journey in order to understand everything that the company needed to do to deliver the customer journey. And that gave us a lot of requirements, quite wide scope. So we had to prioritise, where do we start? And essentially there were some things that were the must-haves that we needed to do from the very outset. We couldn't not do them. Then there was the should-haves, which we prioritised based on business need and business benefit. And then there was a list of could-haves, which we then pushed out into a sort of a phase 3. The change management challenge was significant. There was a lot of emotional attachment to the way that the business had been run to that day. A lot of people have invested a lot of time and effort in building spreadsheets and reports and so on, and they felt as if the process was established, and the idea of changing the way they worked was going to be difficult. So we had to manage that very carefully and make sure we brought the team with us. People don't really like change a lot of the time. They think they're going to be worse off in some way. So you have to share the vision. You've got to explain to them and show them what it's going to look like. And then when they can see that it's going to make a difference, there's usually a light bulb moment in a project where you think, yeah, it's going to make a real difference for them, and they're really happy.